Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be converting a text file in so-called Latin 1 character encoding into a different character encoding called UTF-8, which is the most popular character encoding currently in use. And don't worry if you don't know what these terms mean yet. You will learn more about these character encodings in this week's reading material. So let's start by the command pwd, which stood for print working directory. So pwd and enter. As you can see, we're in the subdirectory week 3 of my course directory. Let's see what kind of files we have in this week 3 directory using the command ls. So ls and enter. And the file we'll be working with today is this text file katinkarabe.txt. If you want to download it, it's available in Moodle below this video. And let's look at the file using less katinkarabe.txt and enter. So here we can see that this is the book Katinkarabe by the Finnish author Aino Kallas. Now this file looks a little bit weird. We have these strange codes here like E4. And this happens because my LESS program is configured to read text files in a character encoding called UTF-8. And this text file is not encoded as UTF-8. And this means that it is able to read the characters that belong to the English alphabet just fine, but it doesn't know how to read the Scandinavian A and Ö characters, which are encoded differently in the UTF-8 standard. So let's quit less using Q. Now what we need to do is to convert this file into UTF-8 encoding so that less will be able to represent it correctly. And this also affects a number of other text processing commands, so it's a good idea to convert the file before we do anything else with it. As a first step, we need to check how the text file is actually encoded, and to do this, we can use a command called file, which gives us all kinds of useful information about text files or other types of files like images and videos. So let's say file and katinkarabe.txt and enter. So this file command tells us that this is a text file and it has been encoded using the ISO 8859 encoding. This is the so-called Latin character encoding scheme, which was widely used before the UTF-8 character encoding became available. So what we want to do is to convert this file into UTF-8 encoding, and we can do this using a command called iconv, which is an abbreviation of internationalization conversion. And this international part refers to the fact that these different character encodings stem from different and mutually incompatible ways of extending the basic character encoding scheme for English, called ASCII, to cover other languages like Finnish or, let's say, Mandarin Chinese. We can convert this file into UTF-8 using the command iconv -f for from ISO 8859, and then we need to add a -1 afterwards, and then T for to UTF-8, and then we need the file name, so katinkarabe.txt. This extra -1 at the end here indicates that we believe this file to be encoded according to the Latin 1 character encoding. This is the most common encoding for Finnish text files. To find the correct flavor of Latin encoding, you may need to try different alternatives, all the way from ISO 8859-1 up to ISO 8859-10. But in practice, this -1 option is the most common one. Now, when I press enter, icon just prints the file onto the screen. So in order to save the output, we can direct the output of icon into a new file. So I'll press the up key to get the previous command, and then greater than katinkarabe.utf8.txt. So we're going to save this converted text into this new file, katinkarabe.utf8.txt, and enter. So let's look at the result. So let's karabe utf8.txt and enter. Now most of the weird codes are now gone, but we still have these $M symbols all over the place. And we can see that they occur at the end of the line. This happens because the end of the line in this file has been encoded using the Windows convention of having a carriage return character and a line feed. Unix does not use the carriage return, so these carriage returns are displayed as an extra character at the end of the line. Depending on your less settings, it's possible that you don't see these carriage returns at all, but you can start less with option -U, which stands for underline special characters, and this will cause the carriage returns to be shown. Even if you don't see these carriage returns in less, the file command will tell you how the end of lines have been encoded. So let's see. File cutting karabe utf8.txt and enter. And it says that we have CRLF line terminators, which means that the end of the line in this file is signified by a carriage return followed by a line feed character. And to convert this file into Unix format, where we only have the line feed at the end of the lines, we can use the command does to Unix. So does to Unix and the file name cutting karabe utf8.txt. And then just press enter. The command tells us that it's now converting the file into Unix format. So if we run this file command again on this UTF-8 file and press enter, we don't get an announcement about the carriage returns anymore. So we're now ready to do something else with this text file.